Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I am Nur Syairah Amani binti Muhammad Farouk with ID number 2019482334. My project title is The Effect of Transport Development Towards the Housing Prices. My supervisor is Surveyor Dr. Mazwita Abdul Wahab and my panel is Madam Wan Nur Ayuni Wan Abdul Rashid. Development is a process that generates growth, improvement, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic elements. Property development is one of the most essential activities that promote stability and improve people's quality of life. People nowadays consider various criteria when purchasing a home, such as location, designs, and environmental concerns in addition to the price. With better infrastructure and significant economic and demographic expansion, the communities should expect quick and ongoing increases in property and land prices. Accessibility is evaluated by market participants' willingness to pay, and the benefit of accessibility is capitalized into the value of the land. The access to the major roads give lots of advantages to residential property users, which is transportation is crucial to the proper functioning of the economic operation, as well as to ensuring social well-being and demographic cohesion. People need transportations to even get to workplace, home, and markets or shops. It links individuals to personal and recreational activities at social, recreational, community, and also medical institutions. So we move to the problem statements. Public transportation is ideal for densely populated and confined cities, particularly in developing nations. Considering that the main elements that influence the decision-making process in the house buying process might contribute to a greater understanding for both buyers and sellers. This is to avoid the unsold property situation in the market. Some variables have a significant impact on home buyers' choices, which ultimately leads to the purchase of a dwelling unit. The fact that the developer's residential building did not match the home buyer's tastes and requirements has become one of the key reasons for the housing unit's failure to sell. As a result, the better a housing project's location is, the more profit and return it may create for the developer, as location is the most important aspect in a home buyer's decision to acquire a house. Next is research objective. The aim of the research is to explore the effect of transport development towards housing prices. So to gain this aim, objective list is stated as follows: to define the transport development and the property market trends. Second, to determine the factors that influence the change in housing prices. And the third is to study the difference in the value of residential property in the area near the transport development area and also the remote area. Next, we go to the research methodology. For research methodology, we use the literature review as a secondary data by journals, articles, books, and other websites are the most common sources of secondary informations. This is which have a study on housing, housing is one of the most crucial living necessities since it provides shelter, protection, and comfort, as well as a place to relax and recharge one's energies. Also talk about the transportations development, which is public transport facilities bring societal benefits such as congestion relief, social equity, improvement, emissions reduction, and economic development. Please also talk about obstacles on buying property, such as people's budget are limited, there is investing risk, and others. Next is data collection method. We have primary data, which is questionnaires will be used to obtain the data, which will then be distributed to the household in the residential area near the transportation development area and also in the rural area. So the questionnaire survey approach is used to support the secondary data collected by the researcher. Then, data analysis will be performed utilizing data via questionnaire survey that has been distributed to the target respondents. And then, the data will be analyzed in SPSS. So next, we move to the data analysis. In section A, there are respondents demographic, where 100 respondents were answered the questionnaire. Next, those figures show a total number of 8 questions that have been distributed for this section B of Objective 1, which is to define the transport development and the property market trends. So the analysis of the results revealed that practically all of the respondents were agreed of the transportation's development system can bring a lot of benefits, and the objective of this study, which is to define the transport development and the property market trends, has been achieved. After that, This show a total number of 8 questionnaires that have been distributed for this section C of Objective 2, which is to determine the factors that influence the change in housing prices around the public transport facilities area. The analysis of the results revealed that practically most of the respondents also agree that the location and quality are among the important factors, and it needs to be emphasized that it influences the change in housing prices around the public transport facilities area, and the objective of the study, which is to determine the factors that influence the change in housing prices around the public transportation facilities area, has been achieved. Then, these figures shows a total number of 7 questions that have been distributed for this section of Objective 3, which is to study the difference in the value of residential property in the area, near the transport development area, and the remote area. So the analysis of the result from these questions revealed that practically all of the respondents were agreed on there are difference in the value of residential property in the area, near the transport development area, and the remote area, such as customers will be drawn to a property that is close to facilities and amenities such as shopping mall, hospitals, school, transportation systems, and other public facilities. So the objective of this study has been achieved. So then, there are 27 items of questionnaires are created and distributed to 100 respondents, which were involved in this research, in order to analyze for the aims of this research. All the data and the information obtained for the purpose of this study was presented and displayed in the figures. The data obtained by the researchers from primary and secondary sources clearly show that the transportation development as an economic component is an indicator of economic growth, and it is also a reflection of economic activity. A well-developed transportation infrastructure provides various advantages through particular macroeconomic productivity factors. In conclusion, all the 3 objectives has been achieved based on the data analysis and findings that has been conducted. For recommendations based on this research, the researchers have a few suggestions for initiatives that occurred while the research was being conducted. So researchers need to conduct depth research and reveal more details about the features of influence the change in housing prices around the public transport facilities area. So there are other factors that the researcher should emphasize, such as the fees and charges for users for the use of transportations. So the government currently controls fees and charges for many infrastructure services. So it is recommended that this will keep expanding the following expectation, such as a more systematic study of the transportation management system, for depth research of the routine maintenance to maintain all facilities in satisfactory quality to correspond with satisfaction of users in relations. So that's all from me. Thank you.